This Robo Magellan robot?
It's a Robo robot.
All right, we'll show a few Robo Magellan robots.
Feeling.
All righty. So some of you have seen this before. This is Blackbeard for Robo Magellan again this year. A few minor tweaks from last year. First thing I'm sure you've all noticed right away is the mast is shorter. Well, I picked up on that. Yeah. And so I used to have my GPS receiver on top of this mast, on a 1-foot mast. But I'm going to take a page out of Osmond's book and ditch the GPS and just use wheel odometry this year. So wheel odometry in this compass, actually, probably not this compass, but that's a whole other story. But so I have to have a flag. This is actually a Blackbeard's actual flag, Blackbeard the pirate. I have this thing about my robot names are all evil, you know, Blackbeard, Ben, you know, Beelzebub, stuff like that. So anyway, so I thought the flag was kind of a nice touch. And this is based on an Arduino, no Raspberry Pi, no ROS, none of that stuff. I'm going to use wheel odometry and either, I'm going to get one of these Bosch BN055 compasses that does all the compensating for tilt and so forth to try to get that working between now and Saturday morning. And because this one's a little too funky. Or I'm just going to go with manual turning. You know, I've actually calibrated how fast this thing goes around in a circle. So I know I get about 30 degrees per second. So if I had to turn 90 degrees, just turn for 3 seconds. And, you know, all I have to do is get close enough for the Pixie cam to pick up the orange traffic cone. So I may end up doing that. We'll see. What else? Yeah, and then to keep up with the guy that won last year, what's his name again? Marco, yeah. Marco's got lots of LEDs on his, so and a siren, so I have to put all that on mine. So I have this LEDs and this siren. You know, so I got to keep up with the Joneses, right? So that's important. What else? One of the other things about the odometry, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but on this guy, the wheels are such that it's really almost impossible to get magnets and things like that inside the wheels in here. So what I did instead was, if you look up inside here, there's a gear that's the input to the transmission comes off the motor. And I originally just had a piece of foil tape on that, and then a little line follower, you know, infrared emitter detector, looking at that. And it's pretty easy to mount and, you know, pretty straightforward. Turns out I used aluminum foil tape like you would wrap for like eating ducks or whatever in your house. And I thought it's like a mirror, and that should just reflect like crazy, right? Well, it turns out for infrared, this is not that good. So instead of using white gaffer's tape, which reflects infrared like crazy, so that was kind of the key to getting the encoder working. Now it works really well. The encoder is totally solved, it's rock solid. I just got to get the directional problem figured out, and we should be good to go. We'll see. And that's about it, really. Oh, one other nice thing. Since I took the GPS off, there's a pulse light LiDAR on the front here, down on the bottom, kind of underneath this thing. And I had that on before, but whenever it fires, it creates like, I don't know, an EMP or something, I don't know. And the GPS will not lock with that thing running on the bot. So I had to take it off. And so now that I'm not using GPS anymore, I can put that thing back on and hopefully improve my obstacle avoidance. Because that thing is like really accurate and it has great range. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Great, that's about it. Thanks. Any questions?
Which Arduino are you using?
Arduino Mega, because I need lots of I/O for all the stuff I got plugged into this thing.
Yeah. LEDs?
Yeah, all the LEDs, exactly, yeah. There's one other trick. I have was talking to me earlier, but I have a 2N2222 on here that I'm using to kind of turn stuff on and off, you know, that has more current and things like that. So I'm using that to like gate on and off the siren and some other things too. But even with that, I still have lots of I/O and things I got to drive. So yeah, anything else? Any other questions? Great. Well, thanks.
So while we're on the subject of Robo Magellan robots, this is my entry. He's called Red Rover, because my robots typically have color names in them. I had a balancing robot named Red last year. This is very typical for what you'll see for a Robo Magellan robot. They're all similar size, generally 4-wheeled. My robot uses a Raspberry Pi for the high-level control and an FPGA board that handles like the PWM for the motors and interfacing with the sensors. A lot of people use GPS, as Ralph said, but a lot of people also die by GPS. So I decided to keep my robot simple, and it's got really good wheel odometry. You know, I can go 100 meters almost dead straight and end up maybe within a 5-meter circle after 100 meters, which is good enough for this particular challenge. And the challenge for Robo Magellan is to find these orange traffic cones that are scattered around the field. And it's a timed event, so you go from the starting line to the final cone. And if you touch some cones in between, then your time is reduced by a scale factor. So my robot entered last year, and he was able to touch the cone. Unfortunately, I haven't had a lot of opportunities to make improvements this year. So my strategy is to, rather than make this robot better, I'm hoping everybody else gets worse. We'll see if that works out. But basically what it does, when it gets...
It's afraid of the cone.
It's looking for orange-colored
They gave a
objects.
sign error there.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, you might need a little work before tomorrow.
That's a cone avoiding robot.
If that was a competition, this guy would come in first. So. All right, so yeah.
So have you run on grass, and is the odometry still accurate after you run around on a lawn?
It is surprisingly accurate. One of the reasons is that there's each wheel has an encoder on it. So I basically had 2 encoders, you know, on each side. So that gives me a little bit more to work with.
So you got 4 liars. You're trying to figure out who's telling you the best truth?
Well, 2 on each side, sure. You can, you know, if one starts slipping, you can, you know, make some assumptions that one of them, you know, is doing something wrong, and then you can look at the other 2 and kind of come up with an average. So that's essentially what I'm doing. And based on that, it does go pretty straight. Yeah.
How would you know if one's slipping? Do you have some kind of like current sensing or anything?
There is, you get counts from the encoder itself. It's going to be unlikely that when it's going straight, one wheel all of a sudden starts turning much faster than the others. You know, if you're turning in a left or right direction, yeah, then one side is going to be turning faster than the other, but it's never the case that one wheel by itself is going faster.
So I mean, is there some sort of PID loop though? And how do you deal with the integration of the 4 sensors with the feedback and how you know, run the motor?
Yes. Yes, there are several nested PID loops. One is handling, you know, keeping each motor going at a specific speed. Another is handling, you know, whether it's deviating left to right to keep going straight. So there's different levels.
What's your magic sauce, isn't it?
Seems to work. All right. Anybody else have any other robots to show?
If 4 wheels is good, would 6 or 8 wheels be better?
Yes, I would. I would think so. 6 wheels would give you more, you know, to work with on each side.
What time is it? Count to 3.
Sure. 1, 2, 3.
So this is a AIY artificial intelligence yourself, made by you with Google Voice Kit. And a WowE MIP. Connect to MIP.
Connecting MIP. Okay.
Set MIP color red.
Setting MIP LED to red. Okay.
MIP move forward.
MIP moving forward. Okay.
MIP, dance.
MIP is getting down on the dance floor. Okay.
MIP, stop.
MIP stopping. Okay.
All right. So, as it happens, I'm giving one of these away at the break. Please write down your name on here if you're interested. This does not include the pie. This is just, but this has a voice hat, which includes the microphone and speaker, and really great instructions, and a little cardboard box. And so, I hope you'll have fun with this.
Yay.
Questions or? No. See me.
Did you say your name?
Jim White. I'm the assistant SAT team. My manager Glenn's here as well, so we're happy to talk about how to incorporate the assistant into your fun maker product or thing, non-product.
Question, can
Yeah.
you talk to us about the new Vision thing?
So the Vision Kit. So these have been out of stock. This is the original version, and they've been out of stock basically all the time. I got these off of eBay. But apparently, as of this week, the Voice Kit 1.1 is now available in Target, so I'm told, and those are $49 and have a Pi Zero included, are supposedly in stock too. But I haven't checked out either of these things. But that was announced like last week, so there should be in stores now.